Is the Switch 2 worth it? Just before we start, I just want to add a disclaimer that these are my thoughts and my opinions, and I'm not trying to harm anybody in the community that disagrees with me in any way, as everybody has their rights to their own opinions, and I agree on certain things and I probably can't share it all in this video. But aside, over the past couple days, I have seen a huge amount of people asking, is the Switch 2 worth it? Because as we know, this is an expensive console and it's also a brand new console coming out, but it's more of the fact of, is it right for you? And is it worth it for you, the consumer, somebody who's buying it? Listen, I know the Switch 2 comes out in a day, but there are people who have not pre-ordered the Switch and are probably going to get it within the next couple of months here. And so it leaves them with this question of, is the Switch 2 worth it? Now, from my perspective, it is worth it for me because of the games. Listen, I have a PC, I enjoy my PC, and I can play almost any game on my PC, including PlayStation games. I see why people buy PlayStations for the exclusives, but I'm willing to wait a couple months to play a PlayStation exclusive. But on the other hand, there is no Nintendo exclusives on PC unless you pirate the stuff, but I wouldn't recommend doing that, just as it can be finicky, take some time, and you can ultimately get sued by Nintendo, which nobody wants in the end. The other thing that I think differs Nintendo from these other handhelds is the fact that they always have a key unique selling point. Like for the Wii with its motion controls, and same with the Switch where you can take it out and on the go. This Switch 2 has the mouse functions, but also has the same features as the original Switch. And then for the TV mode on the Switch and the Switch 2, which I don't see many people talking about on the Switch 2 as much, because I don't see any other handhelds doing what the Switch does with the TV technology. I know you can dock your Steam Deck and I know you can dock your ROG Ally, but the Switch just seems more seamless and more straight lined. But on the other hand, some of these PC handhelds have games that you cannot play on Switch. And if you have a PC already, you could play on your Steam Deck, for example. And so you don't have to buy the game again, right? And so it allows you to play it on your PC and then just take it on the go. And sure, you could do the same with the Switch where you put it in the dock and you bring it on the TV and then you take it to go. But if you already have a PC, then playing the game with a bit of extra power allows you for so much more. And then just to take it on the go. Sure, the game looks graphically worse, and don't get me wrong, but when putting it back on your PC, you're always going to get that better performance. Whereas the Switch, I feel like you're not getting that much better of performance upgrade when you put it into the dock compared to you can just play the game and switch between your Steam Deck and PC. The other thing with the Steam Deck and ROG Ally is that you can actually dock a GPU to it. So if you want to upgrade the power of it, you could create a dock that has a GPU in it and then just enhance the power of the Steam Deck and use mouse controls, ultimately making it a more complicated Switch, but ultimately a higher performing console that you can transfer from your big screen to your small screen like the Switch, if you're willing to go through the hassle. But for me personally, it all comes back to these exclusives. Nintendo exclusives just have a spark in my mind, and I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, they have this kind of spark that compared to any other game, Nintendo games have like a richer feel almost, which makes me want to buy a Nintendo console. And I feel like at this point, Nintendo consoles, their games are becoming more and more the selling point of the console. I have seen a lot of people, especially with this generation coming up in one day, been talking about how they're getting the Switch 2 just for Mario Kart World. Whereas back then, it was, I'm getting the Wii because it's special, I can play all this stuff, right? Whereas the Switch 2, it feels like you're buying it for the game and not for the console features. Whereas, like I said, back then, the Wii felt like you were buying it because the console was cool, wacky, and a new fun thing. And sure, you could say this about the Switch 2, and I think a certain demographic of people have this opinion about the Switch 2, but I think for the most part, it's because of the games that people are buying the Switch 2. And to me right now, I feel like the only console that I can justify purchasing is a Switch in general, or even a Switch 2, because of those exclusives. I can play any PlayStation game, any Xbox game on my PC, but my Switch, I cannot do that. And I want to get that full experience. And instead of spending my money on a Steam Deck, where I know that I probably won't use it as much because I want to experience that game in full, Nintendo's console for me just always comes back to the exclusives and the experience that they have, and the way that no matter where you're playing them between the TV and the dock, they are going to look pretty much the same. But anyways, what do you guys think? We are one day away from the Switch 2. I am super excited for this console, and I will be posting more very soon. And on Thursday, I will also be doing a live stream. So if you guys want to join in, feel free. But anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you later. Peace.